Hello, everyone. This is just a surprise live stream that I didn't know I was going to do, but I'm doing it from my phone. Do something a little different instead of being tethered to my laptop. I said, let me try it on my phone just to see how this works. So it seems to be working well. Well, it's been a minute. I can walk around, get me some water as I talk. Man, it's nice. How you guys doing tonight? What's up, Andre? Just doing this test from my phone. Let me do it live from the phone. Got your, of course, you saw I got your email there, right from the link, the short link. How you guys doing? Welcome. I hope you guys have checked out the new channel, 6 Cents. I hope you've checked it out. Andre, I don't know if you've been over there yet, but it is exploding. All right. Hey, Andre, it's moving at the speed of light squared. That's how fast it's moving. Okay. Unbelievable. So fast that I'm humbled by. What's up, mister? What's going on, sir? So I decided to jump on. As you guys can see the title. Well, first, let me introduce myself. My name is LJ Young, and I am the founder of SMD, and I am here to share my gift. And my gift is that I understand that capitalism is psychological, split into two parts, positive and negative. All right. This is a mathematical fact. All right. This is not a guess. This is not a theory. This is a mathematical fact. And people that live on the negative side of the economy are called debt slaves. All right. Debt slaves are people that believe they can buy houses with mortgages, believe they can buy cars with car loans, believe they can invest in a 401k and car payments at the same time. Those are called debt slaves. Now, the psychological part is this: they don't know that they're debt slaves. Okay. They don't know that. All right. That's the psychological part about it. Now, I was a debt slave once too. Then I found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey says, hey, take the calculator and these baby steps and get out of debt. That was easy enough. I didn't need any of his books. I was like, oh, that's easy. Okay. And I did it, right? Till I got to part of his plan where he said, well, when you pay off all your debt, you get down to your mortgage, start putting away 15% into retirement. But when I use that same calculator, put in my mortgage payment minus my mortgage balance and hit equal, that's a large negative number. The calculator says I don't have 15% of anything to put anywhere. So that's why I left Mr. Ramsey's plan. I was like, oh, that's business. Got it. All right, Mr. Ramsey. Then, Mr. Ramsey's going to send you one of his Vesta Pros that are going to somehow break the laws of mathematics. I don't know. And you're going to pay him to do it. This shit is funny, man. When you get out of the debt matrix, it is hilarious. It really is funny, right? Anyway, that was me. And then when I got down to zero, once I got to zero, I realized my credit report was nothing more than an owner's ledger. It just it just kept track of all the businesses that owned me. And I only noticed this because I was out of debt and I didn't have no owners on my credit report anymore. It was just one half. It was like a half a page with no owners. I was like, wait a minute, I'm free. Now I'm free. Yes. I was a debt slave the majority of my adult life, following all the, hey, go to college, get student loans, get the 6 figures, do all this stupid stuff that you're supposed to do. And then I got there, guess what? Nothing. Know why? Because I didn't own anything. I was making 6 figures, but I was probably triple that in debt. Okay. So anyway, got to zero. And then I started trying to tell my friends, hey, man, you shouldn't finance cars, man. That's really horrible. But nobody was listening to me. They thought I was crazy. I was like, hey, wait a minute. No, look, I'm just showing you on the calculator. Look at the calculator. They didn't want to look at it. That's when I knew I was onto something. Then I started saying, wait a minute, you can't buy a house with a mortgage. Nope. Yet millions of people think they do. Those people are called the housing market. People with mortgages that believe they're homeowners, debt slave, aka debt slaves, they make up the housing market. When you hear somebody talk about the price of a house, you ask them, are you buying a house with a mortgage? If they say yes, you don't talk to those people. That's a whole different market. That's for people that believe they can buy a house with mortgages. You don't talk to them about buying a house. It only takes one day to buy a house, not 30 years. Why would you get advice from somebody that thinks it takes 30 years to buy a house when it only takes one day? When you come to the positive side, where I'm at today, in which I help people come over here, you will understand that. You will understand taxes are your friend. Taxes help you build wealth. Uh, gas, the price of everything is not really that expensive. When you hear people say, wow, that's expensive, you turn to them and say, are you making car payments? Is that a finance phone in your hand? Yeah, that's why it's expensive for you. That's why you're using the word expensive, because your phone is financed. Do you got student loans? Yeah, that's why you're using the word finance, because you got student loans. If you went to college for 4 years and you kept your student loans for 20 and 30 years, that's why you're using the word expensive, because you're paying for college longer than actually going to college. Listen, what is your reason for going to college to get knowledge when you go to college for 4 years, but you pay for it for 20? Where did, everybody had to pass math, everybody. Now, listen, when you hear me say that, I don't want you to think that I'm an exception from it, because I kept my student loans for 10 years. I'm just saying, I wish somebody would have said it to me just like that when I was in the debt matrix. I wish somebody would have walked up to me and said, hey, L, how long did you go to college? I would have said 3, because I wanted to fast track. I skipped summers. This is how serious I was in college, too. I did it in 3 because I did it when I was older. And if somebody would say, then why are you keeping your student loans for 10? That doesn't seem very smart. I would have went home thinking, I would have been like, you're right. That's not very, no, it wasn't. You imagine, listen, Deslays, when you guys go get loans, like when you guys go fill out credit card applications and blah, 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 when the bank sees that you have 20-year-old student loans on your credit report, that automatically tells them that you have no idea what you're talking about when it comes to money. You're telling them that you went to college for the average people 4 years, but you keep your student loans for 20. That means you don't understand how money works. Why would you do that? Only people that don't know do that. Think about all the people that say, hey, and they say these things out loud. Hey, I'm gonna die with student loan debt. You better stay away from those kind of people. You better not get into business with them. You better not discuss money or finances or anything. Because when you hear a person say they're going to die with student loan debt, they're saying they're going to die a debt slave, never understanding what it's like to be on the positive side of the economy, where it's beautiful. It's lovely over here, people. You guys have no idea how lovely it is over here. It is absolutely beautiful, stress free, no problems. Oh, this is going up. The price of gas is going up. So what? So it's going to come back down. It's not a big deal. You think it's going to keep going up? If the gas keep going up, guess what happened? Crime goes up. So they have to stop. Okay. You just got to just wait. If the price keeps going up, guess what? Everybody loses. So guess what? That cannot happen. Okay. It'll come back down like it's supposed to. They're just testing the limits. How far can we get it this time? Sure. We almost got it to $7. Okay. We'll know what to do next time. You guys are used to it. People will go back in the old days. Oh man, look, when gas was 99 cents. So what? So what was the minimum wage when gas was 99 cents? Way lower than what it is now. It's the same thing, people. It's just new people. Old people not realizing it's the same thing. It just seems different to you in your brain. Andre says, I can't wait for you to get to the dark triad. See, when Andre says stuff like that, he throws me study tools. Maybe I don't feel like studying anymore, Andre. Maybe my brain is tired. How about that? Okay. How about that? Damn. Just when I think I already got to the top. And guess what? Here's another nugget. Have you ever thought about doing reaction to finance videos? Uh, you know what? I would, if I don't have to look for them, if you guys could email them to me at savingsminusdebt.com and I click on the video, I think that would be fun. I think I would do that. That would be fun. The new page, really, bruh, is six. Wait, can I type on this thing? Just a second. Let me see if I can. Okay, because I'm on my phone. Just a second. Uh, oh, here we go. Unless somebody can. All right, there we go. Student loans and cars are killing people. Well, Millwood's killing. That's only killing people who finance that stuff. Okay, not regular people like us. That cars, a car can't kill me. A student loans can't kill me either. Only for people that finance stuff. Okay, finance that stuff. I'm thinking about going to Cleveland soon. Houses are low as 20,000. I could I could really not be a debt slave that cheap. Uh, Put it this way. Okay, when you get out of debt and you're free, you won't move to a place just because they have cheap houses. You're going to move to a place where you want to move. When you're on the positive side, it doesn't you can choose where in the United States of America you want to live. Nothing's off limits. If it's for sale, you got to remember the majority, 99% of the houses that you see are financed. Those people believe they own something. All you got to do is wait for a big company to close. Listen, this is what you got to listen for. Check your city and see if there's a big company closing in some area somewhere. Those houses are going to be foreclosed on right there in that area. That's an automatic because they all have mortgages and they're all tied to the company. Are you crazy? You know, I never thought about that once when I was in the working 40-hour work week program. I didn't realize my whole life was tied to my job. I would never in a million years ever do that ever again, ever. No wonder they can talk to you the way they want to talk to you. Treat you, hey, can you work after hours and call you after hours and email you and expect you to answer? Why do you think that? Because your whole life is tied to the job. Do you know when you're debt free and you have a job, none of that shit happens? Nothing. You don't let your job get away with any of that. That's business. If you're giving away, listen, the most valuable commodity on earth is the time in your life. And if they tell you, if they're asking you to work and not get paid, something's wrong with you. Are you crazy? That extra 30 minutes, you can't get that back. There's no way, it's gone. And they got, listen, and they got it for free. Are you crazy? Never. You're right. Texas cheap too. It's all over, even Mississippi. I haven't worked in a few years. Don't remember what that's like. It sounds like you broke the 40-hour work week program because once you break it, ain't no going back. Would you consider going back to SC eventually? Uh, I did love it there. I ain't gonna lie, Mister. I absolutely. I mean, South Carolina's, yeah, that's a whole state. I wouldn't necessarily have to go back to the city where I live, but I would definitely go back there. I really enjoyed living there. I really did. It was beautiful, beautiful. I lived in Myrtle Beach, so it was a. I lived in a vacation city. It was just, it was beautiful. So, but yeah, if you are a debt slave and you're listening to this, right, and you're going into 2024 with the same attitude, you guys got to understand, you guys live in a different time. These are different times now. I know you guys, like the majority of you guys that got, when 2020 came, you guys got pushed out from W-2 jobs into 1099 jobs. You went from your employer being responsible for taking the taxes out of your check to you being responsible for taking taxes out of your check. And if you're in debt, that means you're not even responsible for your own money. So when when it's time for you to save money for taxes, you're not doing it. And listen, and a lot of you guys, you delivery drivers and delivering food and people and all that stuff, a lot of you guys are not paying your taxes. That's a big, big problem. Big. Guess it, and this is just my opinion. Guess who's going to solve that problem? Guess who's going to solve it? Elon Musk and Tesla. They're about to solve that problem. This is what I want you guys to. This is my opinion. Okay, I could be full of shit. You could just throw this idea out. It probably won't even matter. Okay, right? Well, wherever you live, listen. Wherever you live, there are Teslas there, right? Teslas are everywhere. They're everywhere already, right now. They're everywhere in everybody's city, in everybody's town, everywhere. Tesla has almost mastered their driverless software. You guys understand? You guys know what that means? You guys understand what that means? All these states in the United States of America are losing tax revenue because you guys are not paying your taxes and you're doing all this business in their city and you're not giving them their share. The Fed's not getting theirs. Nobody's getting theirs. Guess what? Tesla's going to solve that problem as soon as his software is approved, his driverless software. 99% of the Teslas you see on the road are financed. Now you're probably thinking, well, what does that mean? Tesla's probably going to come up with some special program for you guys to participate, use your car to participate in the program, and he'll pay part of the car note or some stupid nonsense. And you guys are going to take that all day, every day. They don't even have to use their own cars. They're going to be using yours because they're already there everywhere. And the people that use Tesla, everybody will be able to get a car in 5 minutes. Who do you think the majority of people are? Who do you think what service they're going to use? Goodbye, Uber. Goodbye, Lyft. Goodbye, all you drivers delivering people and food. Who do you think the restaurants are going to use? They're going to use Tesla. They're going to know when they put their food in a Tesla car, it's going to be untouched until it reaches their customer. Who do you think they're going to use? Back to W-2 jobs. And guess what? As soon as you guys sign up, you got to eat. As soon as you guys sign up for your W-2 job, you guys probably not going to get hardly any money because they're going to be taking not only your regular taxes, the taxes that you didn't pay while you were working all these years. Laughing with your friends. Oh, girl, I ain't paying my taxes. Oh, okay. It's all fun and games right now. You think it's funny. If they're losing, if the cities and states, if they're losing money, you know how fast Tesla cars are going to be approved for working, action, ready to go ASAP because Tesla is going to be paying their taxes. Believe that. You guys delivering stuff. I hope you guys are paying attention because you're not going to have a job soon. They're not going to need you anymore because people are not going to use you. How many of you guys called a Uber and then the car that pulls up looked like you ask yourself, how did this get approved for Uber? It probably didn't. They probably snuck it under the radar or whatever. Imagine when every time you call a Tesla car, it's always going to be a Tesla car. It's always going to be clean. It's always going to be nice looking. You know it's going to be working. Everything. It's not going to smell like it's been smoked in and trying to hide it to do Uber. That's the worst when you get in an Uber car and the owner is a smoker and you don't smoke and you can clearly smell that they smoke in their car. It's disgusting. What's your opinion on Boyce Watkins? Do you think he's awake? He talks about escaping. No, he's not. He's not. When you see people partner up with other people that are clearly doing things that are not right, that means they're not awake. Because I've seen him partner up. I've seen him partner up with a few people that do non good things in the finance world. So that means he's not awake. That means he's getting paid. Because if somebody asked me to partner up with the people I've seen him partner up with, I'd be like, hell no, no, absolutely not. Why not? Because of what he's done. When you see like financial scams from certain people, you guys got to understand they target people that don't understand money. They're not fooling people on the positive side of the economy. I can promise you that. You can tell by the way they talk and tell by you can just hear it. Believe it or not, those people that do that stuff, they're part of the program too. They cause confusion. Everybody doesn't know. All they have to do is just trust the calculator. That's it. Now you're probably thinking, well, LJ, how can you tell if a person's a scammer or not? All I have to do is ask to see their personal credit report. That's it. Do you guys understand me? If somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey, do this invest. Look at my car. Look at my house. Look what I'm wearing, my jewelry, and this and that," all I'm gonna turn to them and say, "Let me see your personal credit report." That's all I want to see. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. It most definitely is. That is an escape from the plantation, for sure. For those of you guys that escape, this was just a pop up one, Ominique. For those of you guys that escape the 40-hour work week, or let me tell you something. Once you escape it, there's no going back. I remember when I was a debt slave. I specifically remember this. I specifically remember somebody asking me, "Hey, man, who made up the 40-hour work week?" And everybody turns and has that confused look on their face, and they turn to say, "The rich people." And then everybody just kind of giggles and laughs and then walks away and then goes back to work. That is the answer. Do you guys understand that? In order for you to be free in the United States of America, you have to create your own business. That is the only way. You know why you hate taxes? If you're a regular person, you know why you hate taxes? Because you are participating in the economy as yourself, as you. So you have to be taxed. That's why you don't like taxes, because it's taxing you, because you're participating in capitalism in the United States of America as yourself. Once you create a business, your taxes are now paid by your business, not you. When you hear a business owner complaining about taxes, guess what? That means they don't understand them. That's why they're complaining about them. If you hear somebody complaining about something that is here forever, been here before they were born, going to be here after they're dead, it's the law. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do to change it. You're not going to change it. What are you complaining about it for? All you got to do is take the time to understand it. Taxes help build wealth, people, not take away. Now, even the people that are not in debt, they probably never heard a person say it like this. Like, "Hey man, taxes help build wealth." And you guys got to understand something. Debt slaves finance everything, including taxes. That's why they hate them, because they're financing them. If they finance a phone is $1,100 plus taxes comes to 13. Guess what? They're financing $1,300. That's why they hate taxes, because they're financing them at their credit card's interest rate. You come to the positive side, taxes are your friend. It's called phantom income. They help you build wealth. The taxes that you're not paying, that the majority are, that's called phantom income. Let me give you an example, okay? The 401k, I'm not sure if it's this year. Let's just keep it even. It's probably more. But I'm gonna just say 20,000. Okay, let's say the 401k max is 20,000. I know it's more people, but I'm just keeping it simple. 20,000. That's the max you can put into a 401k. Now, as a debt slave, There is no way fathomable in your brain, just the way you guys think, that you can put away $20,000 into a 401k in one single year. You're like, there is no way. Now, this is probably the people that are probably making 40, $50,000 or less, and they're probably like, yeah, that's probably true. But do you guys understand there are people with six that are making six figures that can't put 20,000. So your income doesn't matter. Now, here's the phantom income. There are people that have no debt that actually do that. That's what I did. I did that. Not only do you get to put $20,000 into your 401k, you get to take $20,000 off of your annual income. That's like double dipping. That's like the IRS saying, "Hey, thank you for participating." So now I get to drop myself in my tax bracket by $20,000. Now, when you're in debt, you can't do that. That's why it's called phantom income. It's phantom to those people that cannot do it. I remember the first time I did it, I didn't know it at the time. I said, yeah, I'm gonna put away 20,000. HR called me, and HR of my company that I work for, they called me because they thought I made a mistake on my paperwork. Excuse me, did you mean to say you're gonna take out 20, you're putting away $20,000 in your 401k, contribute $20,000 to your 401k? I said, yeah, that's on purpose. They was like, oh, okay, all right, sir. We was just double checking. I said, okay. Now you know why I know for a fact. You know why they called me? Because nobody does it. That's why they thought it was a mistake, because the majority of people with jobs can't even afford to do that. I didn't understand that at the time. I didn't get it. I was like, why they call me? I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, America is what you say? America is made for business owners. You've got to be debt free, own your house, own your land, and run your own business to be debt free. You're right. All you have to do is owe no debt personally. Do you understand how well you can do business when you're debt free personally? You know how you can do business way better than people that are in debt doing business. Because you got to remember, the majority of people, and the bank already knows, okay? The bank knows everything already because your whole life is tied to them. The majority of people that start a business have the pressure of car payments, credit card payments, uh, 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 all these mortgage payments, all these payments, which doesn't allow them to put full focus on their business and their customers. You know who I model my business after? Chick-fil-A and Amazon. Good customer service earns customers' trust. I promise you that. Customers, hey, listen, customers want to go to a place, click buy, close the laptop, and be 100% confident that they're going to get the product that they paid for in a timely fashion. Good correspondence. Here's your tracking number. Your package is on your way. So much correspondence to where it's irritating. That's what the customers want. Good product, good customer service, fat and reasonable to quick, fast shipping. Because I know when I order Amazon, it says 2 day shipping. Sometimes it doesn't really come in 2 days, but I don't really trip. I don't care. I just know it's going to be here. I want you guys to, I want you guys to see this channel. You guys that follow this channel, and then I want you to see Six Sense channel, my new channel. I want you guys to watch how I'm gonna tie this into that. because they do go together. I want you guys to understand something. They do go together. You guys see how long to get 4,000 something people on this channel? 6 cents is moving at light speed right now. You guys understand me? Light speed. It's like, hey, you've gained 200 subscribers in 28 days. I'm like, what? I used to hear people when I first started SMD. I used to hear people say, "Hey, L, you changed my life." When you hear a person now, if you haven't heard somebody say that to you before, a person come up to you and say, "Hey, you changed my life," you're not ready to hear it because it's shocking at first. But when I started hearing more and more people say that to me here on SMD, man, you changed my life, man. This I didn't know this and that, and I heard you say this and the way you say that and blah blah blah. Right now, when I start 6 cents, I barely been at it for a month. People are saying that I saved their life. Do you hear me? Saved. I'm like, what? It humbles me instantly. Instantly, I'm like, okay. At first, when somebody says it, you're like, oh, okay. They might be exaggerating. No, nobody says that accidentally to another person. Hey, man, you saved my life. When somebody accidentally come up to you, have you ever listen? Have you ever accidentally said that to somebody? That doesn't happen. Those of you that are on your own journey, I want you guys to understand something. People tell you if you're going in the right direction of your journey. People tell you that. All you gotta do is listen. When you hear people say things that they normally don't say, that means that's the right direction. That's the way I'm headed. That's how SMD was born. You guys all know that this channel right here is different than any other channel on the internet. 6 cents is going to be the exact same way, but bigger. We already know debt slaves are everywhere, but the majority of people are in denial about it. But we all know that's part of the program. It has to be that way. But when it comes to 6 cents, narcissists are everywhere like debt slaves, millions of them. They could be your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle. It could be your friend. It could be anybody. Just like the movie The Matrix. You know how you see what's the name just jumping between bodies? It's the same thing. But with 6 cents, I'm gonna be able to help you, like just like I've showed you guys how to identify debt slaves. I'm gonna help people over there identify narcissists. I could see them, they can't see me. It goes hand in hand with debt slaves. In order for a person to know they're a narcissist, guess what that takes? Self-awareness, self-accountability, self-reflection, be by yourself to figure out what's going on. Narcissists they don't possess any of that at all. That goes the same way for debt slaves. In order to know you're a debt slave, listen, people, in order for you to know you're a debt slave, you have to accept it. Narcissists don't know they're narcissists. Debt slaves don't know they're debt slaves because they got to do what? Self reflection, self accountability, be by yourself to figure out why you're in debt. It's the same thing. But the people on 6 cents will be able to recognize narcissism because it's happening to them in a different way. Because you got to remember, emotions are not attached to their debt problems. Yeah, they might be stressed out, but emotionally, like with another person, a narcissist is another person. Debt is not another person. That's the difference. This is already connecting with people already. Already. Listen, SMD family members have reached out to me, talked to me. It's my mom, it's my dad, it's my uncle, it's my sister. It is. Just like the debt matrix, once you get out of there, there is no going back. No, I stand corrected. 99, I must always say 99%. 99% of people will never go back. Once you get out of debt, you won't date anybody in debt. You young men out there, you probably thinking because your testosterone is high right now. You think it's all about getting with women and getting what you can get. If you get out of debt, you're going to change. Your whole life is going to change. You're not going to think like that. You're going to think twice because once you get out of debt, if you accidentally get a debt slave pregnant, you're going to regret that probably for the rest of your life because now you will have to be tied to the debt matrix for at least a minimum of 20 years. Court dates, and your future is court dates and lawyers and child support payments and keeping in contact with the state and the state taking your money and telling you how much of your money that you're going to keep and all this other stuff. Good luck. Hey, man, that would be like drip torture, especially if you got, listen, if you got out of debt, you freed yourself from the debt matrix and you messed with a woman in debt, got her pregnant, and you knew you wasn't going to stay with her, but now you have a child with her. Now you're tied legally. But this time you know it. In 2024, my main focus is going to be 6 cents. I'm gonna just tell you guys that right now. That's gonna be my main focus for sure. There's not much more I can say to you guys on this channel. Really, it's not. I don't know what else I could say. I guess it will be just filled with commenting on videos. That's about it. Because it's just going to be the same funny shit over and over again. Because how they do you guys. What's up, Owen? With what I've seen, I'm grateful to be a debt-free single man. Hey, Owen, better believe it. You're not even going to date a woman who's in debt. You're not even going to waste your time. You're not going to take a chance. You're going to be like, man, whew, can I bet my whole life on this condom? You guys are going to think twice about everything because when you look at the condom box on the back of the box, it says we don't guarantee nothing. That's what it says on the box. We don't guarantee nothing. And you can't go into court and say, "Hey, Your Honor, you know what? I protected myself, and the condom failed." They're gonna be like, "So, why are you telling us that? We don't even need to know that. Can we see your paycheck stubs?" That's what they're gonna be saying. What's up, down south yellow? Are you with a woman from like 2 years ago? Yeah, yeah. 6 years total. 6 years total. You guys couldn't tell, but I was living in a narcissistic fog, and SMD was my only outlet. That's the only time she would leave me alone. Because you you guys got to understand, narcissists don't care about your goals and your dreams because they think they own you. Every time I would talk about my goals, my dreams, she didn't want to hear it. I didn't know it at the time, but narcissists don't care about stuff like that. And the stuff, hey, listen, the stuff I laugh about now because that version of me is not me no more. I need you guys to understand that. That's why I can laugh about it because I'm gonna be talking about more of this on my other channel. I'm gonna tell you about all the embarrassing things that she had done to me that I stayed. I think it's very important to know because I want you guys to understand this. If it's happened to me, it's happening to many men that don't say nothing. Believe that. All those men that it's happened, and I'm gonna speak to you guys right now because there's a lot of you guys right now. All of you guys you're allowing your woman to put your hands on you, just slap you and hit you and scratch up your neck and clothes and rip your clothes off. That version of you, you can leave that version of you. That's a version of you that you can leave. All you got to do is come to reality. You got to escape, though. You got to get away first, and then come to. And once you get out on the other side, you're going to look back and laugh at the things that you allowed this woman to do to you. You're going to laugh. The reason why you're going to laugh is because that version of you is no longer. That's why it's funny. Just think about old versions of you today. Just think about who you are today and think about who you were 10, 15 years ago. You might laugh about the things you used to do and things. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You guys couldn't tell all those videos, like when you watch all the old videos with the white background. I was in the narcissistic fog hell. You guys just couldn't tell because that was my only escape. That's why my videos were so long. You guys were like, man, your videos are like 3 hours. Yeah, I'm like, hey man, 2, 3 hours of freedom. I might have been on my video. She might have been upstairs texting with her boyfriend. I don't know. I didn't really care as long as she was away from me, especially towards the end. I didn't care what she did. Ringing in the new year with debt free. Debt free. Congratulations. Congratulations, KB Scoop. Congratulations for sure. All these videos, all these videos I've made on SMD, it's like what, 2,000 videos? Listen, they're gonna be forever valid. It's not gonna matter what year my videos are watched, because math is timeless. You guys understand me? It's timeless. I might say that now. Hey, you guys that are gonna be watching this video 10 years from now, it's going to be the same exact thing 10 years from now. It's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be different times. You guys are going to have Elon's probably going to come up with a better phone or something, or Apple's going to come up with some glasses, but you guys are going to finance them all. It's going to be the same thing. Just imagine, hey, we're going to go into the future. We're going to go into the future now. So in 10 years, you guys listen to this video 10 years from now, it'll be the same thing. You'll be like, how did he know that? Because I know you guys are debt slaves. That's how I know. Capitalism is psychological. You guys have no money to buy anything today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. You guys have no money. So it doesn't matter what it is. You guys are gonna watch this video and be like, hey man, is he some kind of guru that he can see? No. Math is timeless. 1 plus 1 will equal 2 now and 100 years from now. You think, hey, listen, you think psychological capitalism is going anywhere? Anywhere? Hell no, it is absolutely beautiful. Do you guys understand me? And I happen to be, listen, we happen to be in the part of the world that it works the best. Capitalism works the best here, right here. You probably thinking, how do you know that, LJ? Because we're the number one currency in the world. That's a statement, you guys. Do you guys understand me? Those are statements. You think everybody agreed in the world that our currency was going to be number one? You know why it's number one? Because we said so. That's why. Doesn't matter what the stock market is doing and the other. It don't matter. We said it is. That's why. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? We have the best stock of dead slaves. They all think. Listen, they all think they own something. All of them. All of them use the words like equity. You can't own equity in mortgaged house. You can't do that. That's impossible. Equity is a made up word by the bank. And you guys probably hearing me say that. Oh, how can you say that out loud? Because debt slaves have no idea what I'm saying, people. You guys understand me? When you hear me say, hey, you can't own equity in a mortgaged house, even though it's a mathematical fact, they have no idea what I'm saying. Why do they not know? Because they can. It's against the laws of mathematics for them to. You guys understand the psychological part behind it? They don't know credit reports are owner ledgers. You think they know that? No. That's why they got them so focused on credit scores. It's like putting bait on a hook. Hey, focus on these numbers. That's why all these scammers talking about, hey, use the white people's money, use the bank's money, don't use your money. If you guys believe that, you guys have no money. You think the banks don't know what you're doing, debt slaves? You guys are obvious. When you look like lately, I've been seeing on the news talking about Navy Federal Credit Union and all this other stuff. Who do you think they cater to? People that don't know. All you got to do is see the people that talking about this is their bank. I know what bank not to use. You guys are the majority. And the majority of you guys are getting high interest rates and all this other stuff, thinking all they first thing they're gonna do is run your credit report, debt slave. That's the first thing they're gonna do to see how you've been treating the business of yourself. And then they're gonna treat you accordingly. You guys believe they're just going in there checking your credit score. Your credit score is nothing more than an indicator. Exactly, Nick. It says the system has been around for a while. It's been around for 250 years. Capitalism has been here for like 250. The only reason a mortgage makes sense to people is because we are in a housing bubble. People sell themselves to the bank because they think another sucker will buy the house at a higher price. The only reason a mortgage makes sense to people is because we are in a housing bubble. I'm not quite sure what you're saying, Luzon, but uh, I don't know what that means. I don't really know why dead slaves believe a mortgage just buys a house. That could be anything. I don't know. People could just make up whatever. It's a housing bubble. Do you turn to all you gotta do is this, Razan. You gotta say when somebody mentions a housing bubble, you turn to them and say, "Do you have a mortgage?" If they say yes, you can't really listen to them because they don't know what they're talking about. If there's some kind of bubble happening for people with mortgages, maybe there is, maybe there's not. That really does have nothing to do with me. Banks love to offer collateral loans on houses, cars, phones, and etc., but they never loan them cash. It said, okay, banks are love to offer collateral loans on houses, cars, phones, etc. Okay, really, if you're coming up trying to use something to get a loan, the bank already knows who they're dealing with. You guys got to understand that. If you're trying to get a loan and you got student loans and your car is financed, they already know what type of person you are. A person that doesn't know, a debt slave. You're a person that finances things that goes down in value at an interest rate. What's up, QJC? The idea we're America, we're number one takes on a different meaning when you know about S&D. It sure does, Owen. Oh, and now you see we're number one because we said so. Period. There's no other, hey, there's nothing else. We're number one. Our dollar's number one because we said so. I know where I live. I clearly understand that. That's clear. Psychological capitalism works best right here. I'm lucky to be born in this country. I got the privilege of understanding this where it works the best. Right here in the United States of America, we have millions of debt slaves, millions. And 99% of them think they own something. They own nothing, not even themselves. And it's all psychological. You guys think I'm joking. You think you can go up to a debt slave and say, hey, did you know you can't buy a house with a mortgage? They're going to think you're crazy. Here you are stating a mathematical fact to a debt slave. I want you guys to understand the psychological behind this, okay? Because it's real. This is not fake. Go up to a debt slave and say, hey, did you know you can't buy a house with a mortgage? Did you know you can't own equity in a mortgaged house? These are mathematical facts. You can even listen. You can even go up to Dave Ramsey and say, hey, Dave, did you know I can't put 15% into retirement while having a mortgage? These are mathematical facts. You understand me? You can't go up to a Dave customer and say, hey, man, did you know you can't put 15% into retirement while having a mortgage? They would look at you like you're crazy. Dave said we could. Well, Dave, that's not true. That's called business. And Dave Ramsey's huge. He's huge. Why is he saying that? Because that's business. That's nothing personal. Dave Ramsey's my mentor, but that's not for me. As soon as he said that, I knew that wasn't true. So I just left. You can't do that. It's all listen, people, capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. This is the only channel on the internet, YouTube's lucky to have me. You guys will not find this content anywhere but here. The economy, when the economy goes up and down, it affects everybody, but it doesn't affect everybody the same, people. When you're on the positive side and gas prices go up, you don't really care because you know they're going to come back down. I don't care. When I go fill my tank up, I don't even look. What's up, Mo Facts? Peace, LJ. People struggle with the reality of being a slave. They don't, a lot of people don't even want to know that the best debt slaves to have, the ones that don't know how much debt they're in and don't want to know. That's the best. That's the debt slaves that say, I'm going to die with student loan debt. Those are the best ones right there. Forever. Those are forever debt slaves. Why do they come out with the single family homes? They make them so big now. I'm single, no kids. I need a single person house because debt slaves finance houses. The size of they have trained the debt slaves to believe the bigger the house you have, that's some kind of financial status. You must make money, but they don't understand that nobody can buy a house with a mortgage. So the size of the house doesn't matter. If you listen, when you walk into a bank and you believe when they tell you that it takes 30 years to pay off one house, you're a debt slave because it only takes one day. If you sign on a piece of paper to promise the bank money that you haven't even earned yet, you got to remember, you're talking about 30 years into the future. So you haven't even made that money yet, and you're promising it to the bank. Only debt slaves do that. That's bananas. Nothing in this world is worth me going into debt for. Absolutely nothing. When you're on the positive side and you hear people say, hey, man, stop throwing away money on rent, the first thing I'm going to turn to is the person that's saying it. And I'm going to say, do you have a mortgage? And when they say yes, I'm going to say that you want me to be like you. I don't want to be like you. You hear a person say, oh, man, I pay less in mortgage than you do in rent. You're comparing a mortgage to an expense? Are you crazy? Housing bubble because houses are overpriced. People think housing prices will always go up. They are counting on that so they can sell their house for a profit. They can't hear you because of that. Well, debt slaves believe that because they believe they could buy a house with a mortgage. You got to understand. You got to make sure when you hear somebody talk about the housing market, if there's a bubble and all this other stuff, that hey, housing prices, you turn to them and say, do you have a mortgage? If they say yes, you're talking to a debt slave that believes they can buy a house with a mortgage. So they believe the bubble and this and that and blockety blah. When you come out on the outside, you don't see none of that. When I drive down the street, all I see is mortgaged houses. That's all I see. I don't care. And the people that are in them are the people that are paying the mortgage. I don't care who's in it. It doesn't mean anything to me. DC says, I just became 100% debt free in May of this year. Congratulations to you. Feels good. I've been watching your videos for a couple of years. I love it when I hear that. And I feel what you're talking about now. I'm free at 40. Oh, 41. Congratulations. I woke up about that age. I woke up. I wasn't free yet, but I woke up. So congratulations to you. Enjoy the rest of your life, man, because there's no going back. Okay. I want to warn you, DC. There is no going back. Your whole world is going to be different. You probably already know. You've been hearing debt slaves talk. You're like, I can't be around that stuff. Can't be around it. No wonder, when I became debt free, I worked for like one more year. When I became debt free, I couldn't take it anymore. I was an IT engineer making six figures, $160,000 a year. Okay. And I couldn't take it anymore. So I quit. I couldn't take it. I was like, man, I got to be in this building 8 to 9 hours a day, and I can only go to lunch if my job says so for only an hour. Like, I remember going, it's really different. Like when I was in debt going to lunch, I'm like, okay, cool, I got an hour to get back, blah, blah, blah. But when I was debt free that year and I went to go to lunch, I wanted to sit there as long as I felt like it. When I was ready to leave the place, not like watching the clock as I'm eating and talking really fast. I said, man, I wish I could just sit here as long as I want and just go home if I want. Now I get to do that. So broke genius, yeah, they are needed. I think you were probably saying needed. Gas prices are 265. Oh, they went all the way down, huh, QJC? I'm gonna miss them $2 prices down there in South Carolina, man. Definitely. I'm definitely gonna be going back to visit for sure. I'm gonna look you up, man. No time soon, though. I'm just saying in general. One of these days, one of these years. Thank you for your content, SMD. You are welcome, DC, and congratulations to you, sir. Welcome to the other side. Welcome to the other side. Welcome. Hey, DC, let me ask you something. How many of your friends or family can you tell that will that's going to celebrate with you about being 100% debt free? I'm just curious. I'm waiting on the answer. I can't wait to hear it. Let me hear the answer. It's wild to think about it. Yes. Thank you. And I'm never going back. Yep. There's no going back. You could listen, DC, you couldn't do it if you wanted to. There's no way you can say, you know what? I'm tired of this debt free bullshit. I'm going back into debt. Nope, that'll never happen. Ever. The only way to buy a house is cash or start a successful business with an LLC and let your customers pay for the home. Exactly, QJC. You're speaking the language, baby. There is no other way. When I buy my house too, it's not going in my personal name. I'm gonna just tell you guys that right now. It's not going into my personal name. When people, well, the bank's gonna run it every now and then. If I get a business loan, let's put it this way: if I need a loan for a business, they run my personal credit. They gonna clearly see I have no owners. The banker gonna is gonna know if I'm there for a loan, I'm there for a specific reason. You guys are gonna get your money back at a specific time, if not earlier. You guys are going to make this amount of money that we agreed on and nothing more because I'm never going to be late on any payments or nothing like that. So they know that. He said, I can't tell my people because they won't understand. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They don't want to understand nothing. You know what? Listen, and you know what's crazy, really, bro? This is what alien is a metaphor. Okay, that's a metaphor. It's a metaphor for people that can see more than millions of people, excuse me, billions of people, and a person that knows more than billions of people. Because S&D, we know more than billions of people because capitalism's all over the world. People, Canada, Australia, the UK, it's everywhere. It works, people. That's why it's everywhere, because it works. Debt slaves are the majority. You go here, you got mortgages. You go to Canada, there's mortgages. You go to the UK, there's mortgages. What do you know? There's taxes too. What? That's weird. Wait a minute. They got a credit system too? Wow, that's really weird. What you guys don't understand is that you guys right now are in the best country where it works the absolutely best. Look around you. For you guys that are born here, you got these foreigners coming here that came from countries where they didn't have a credit system, and they watched you guys on TV in your fancy cars, in your Ferraris, in your fancy houses, and they're on TV. They're like, "Ooh, man, those guys are rich over there. We got to get to America. We got to get over there ASAP." And they're from a listen. They're from a country that has no credit system, and they have to pay for everything in cash, right? But they look at you guys. You got to remember, they think you guys are buying the same stuff. They think the people on TV think you guys are buying your houses, buying your cars, and buying your fancy phones with cash. And then they get here and find out you guys own nothing. So the next question is going to be like, then how are they getting these houses? How are they getting these cars? Oh, welcome to America. That's called financing. They're going to be like, well, what's financing? Well, instead instead of buying this car right now with cash in one day, oh yeah, that's what we do in our country. We just come up with the cash, we buy it and give it to them, we drive away. Well, here you could pay on it for 8 years, for 7 years, 84 months. They're going to be like, what? And for more money, they're going to be like, well, why would we do that? Because that's how we do it here. They're going to be like, you mean to tell me all we got to do is come here, create a business, stay out of debt, and we will become wealthy? Yes, that's it. What do you think the foreigners do? That's what they do here. The foreigners here that understand that you don't finance shit, they are killing it. You guys will come here and see some Hispanic people. It'll be about 3 or 4 families in a house, all packed up in the house. You're like, oh, look at all those people in the house. One thing you guys don't know is that the house is paid off. They have no mortgage, people. Do you know how much money you save when you have no rent or mortgage? You guys don't even understand. They come here, listen, your mortgage or rent is your largest monthly expense. You guys believe it's forever. They come here, pay for a house in 5 to 7 years, and then they live rent and mortgage free for the rest of their lives while they're here, stacking their money, just stacking, buying all their cars in cash, buying wrecked cars, fixing them, doing whatever they need to do, getting rich fast. The only thing those guys are fucking up on is they're not paying their proper amount of taxes. They don't really understand, if they pay their taxes properly, they will make even more money. They're probably coming in, oh man, they take so much in taxes. That's because you don't know how to play. If you understand how it plays, you can make even more money paying your proper share in taxes properly. I guarantee you, every city's probably offering something if you have some money. You got to make some alien shirts. I think I am. I just got to figure out exact. I'm gonna put my new my new equation. Let me put this up here. Just a sec. This is my new equation right here. Like Einstein, this is my new equation. That's my new equation. When you make SMD, you understand SMD and you understand 6 cents, it will psychologically, excuse me, let me get some water just a second. Psychologically, your mind will feel like you're moving at the speed of light squared. I promise you that. That right there, that is definitely going on a shirt for sure. It seems like everyone is talking about relationships, but I tell them that their financial status makes relationships harder. Yeah, when you understand this channel, you're not dating anybody in debt. Okay, so right there, that I want you guys to understand right here. This formula here that will change your life. How do I know that? Because I'm here. That's a uh. So Mofax says if you pay your mortgage bi-weekly with the same monthly amount, you can save 4 to 5 years off of a 30-year mortgage. I am an alien for sure. I know that for a fact. I'm saying that to you guys right now. I know something that billions of people don't know with a B, because capitalism's all over the world and it's all psychological. It's all the same. They just have different rules, different types of government structure, but it's all the same. The majority are debt slaves, period. LJ, in a guess, how much you think Church Hill Mortgage paid Dave Ramsey just said? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you know it's millions. You already know it's millions of dollars. That's millions of dollars. Because it's a when you create a business, it's about trust. That's what I don't think people really. When you're debt free. Listen, this is okay. This I'm gonna give you guys some information because I'm doing it right. When you start a business debt free, I swear to you, you focus more on your customers. Okay, you're not so much focused in on the money. Okay, what should I charge? I need to get this much to pay so I can continue my life the way it is, right? But when you're debt free, you get to focus on your customers, your product, and customer trust. All my focus is on customer trust. When people come to SMD, they're like, "Hey, what's he selling? How come he have no courses and this and that?" You guys don't know what I'm earning. I'm earning customer trust. When people come here and they know I'm not sick, because you got to remember they're used to being sold hey, buy this, donate that, send me this, give me some money, this and that. You come here, it's like LJ ain't never asking for any of that. What is his purpose? So now they get to eliminate them coming here thinking I'm trying to beg them for something, and then they can focus in on my message. And once I get them to trust me, then it's endless. They will find out how much they will go out here, become multimillionaires, and be happy to come back and give me money because they know exactly how much the information I shared with them is worth. I tell everybody, hey man, when you become a multimillionaire, hey man, just promise me 1 million. I guarantee you that's gonna happen. I would do it. If I came across some information and this dude wasn't trying to sell me nothing, trying to make me donate all the time, hit the like button, do this. No, you do it. If you feel something in this video, you do it because you want to do it. I don't like going to channels and right at the beginning of the video, hey, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I don't even know if I like your channel yet. Let me hear you first. Or somebody be talking in the video saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to stop. If I don't get them likes up, and you know what I do? I leave. You ain't telling me what to do. I used to leave channels like that all the time. Hey man, we're gonna stop talking if you guys don't get them likes up. I'm not, but goodbye. I'll hit the like button when I feel like it, if I want to. My point is that compound interest is financial sorcery. Uh, Put it this way, Mofax, okay? Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand compound interest earn positive compound interest. He who doesn't earns, excuse me, he who doesn't pays negative compound interest. So if you understand compound interest positively, it'll be sorcery positively in your pocket. Compound interest, debt slave, put it this way. When you're in debt, you cannot earn positive compound interest in any way. You guys see, this is what debt slaves don't understand about interest. When you're in debt, you can't earn positive interest. You cannot earn positive interest. You can't. You cannot invest. Say like you have a mortgage and you believe you're, so, okay, put it this way so you guys can understand this, okay? Say like you have a mortgage, but you invest money into the stock market, okay? And you think, hey, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing good. And so like this year you invested $5,000 into the stock market, you invested it right, it quadrupled, it split three times, and you made all this money, and you're like, man, good thing I did that. Oh yeah, that was a smart move. But if we go all the way back to the beginning, before you invested the 5,000, if you would have opened up the calculator, put in 5,000 minus your mortgage balance and hit equal, the calculator would have initially showed you that you don't have $5,000 of anything to put anywhere to earn, to flip, to trip, and do all the things you thought it was doing. Now you're probably thinking, well, which one do I believe? The calculator that's never ever wrong, has never been broken by anybody in history? Or do you believe that it was still a smart move to invest $5,000 of imaginary money into the stock market? Now, here's the debt matrix part that you guys really don't understand. If if you put 5,000 minus your mortgage in the calculator, and the calculator says you have no money, you probably think, well, where did the $5,000 come from to invest in the stock market to earn all the stuff that I did? It was borrowed from the bank. That's the only place it could come from. It was borrowed. Since you didn't know that you had no money to invest in the stock market, you borrowed some money to invest in the stock market. Therefore, investing for the bank, really not for yourself. You was investing for the bank. I don't want a lot of people to know this because the movie Bugs Life, in the scene they do the art ants outnumber them 100 to 1. I gotta watch that. A few people have told me about that movie, and they do have some subliminal messages in there about debt slaves. Really, is having a 401k worth it when you know you're not planning to be an employee? It's worth it for tax reasons. Yeah, it counts on, to me honestly. It counts on how much money I was making. So I was making. I remember, like I always like to tell this story, and this is the only reason why I know what I'm telling you. Right? I was I remember being just under 100,000 or something back then, right? And I remember getting a raise that took me over the $100,000 mark. And I remember being so excited to see my next check. Remember, I'm in debt at this time. I remember being so excited to see my next check because this was the first time I broke through the six-figure mark. I was so excited. When I got the check, guess what? It was less than the previous check. It was less than the check that I got before the raise. Now I thought to myself, how in the world could that possibly happen? Because I moved up in my tax bracket. That's when I started to take the time to understand how tax brackets work, because how was it possible to make more money but get less money on my check? That was the light bulb moment. I was like, okay, how can I fix this? Well, they said, well, if if you put some money into the 401k, in other words, if you participate in the system that the government already has out there, you got, because you have to participate. These are things that make you participate and not just sit on your money or spend it on bullshit. Unless you want to pay higher in taxes, you're gonna pay. But if you put the money into a 401k, not only do you put money into a 401k so it grows, you get to drop yourself down in your tax bracket. That's like double dipping. That's when I then I said to myself, then I became debt. That's when I became debt free, because I didn't have any money to put in my 401k because I was in debt. So I knew, once I became debt free, I said, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. And when you leave, you get to access to your 401k. It really doesn't matter because it goes with you. As long as you keep track of it, where it's at. Every time you leave, make sure you keep track of your 401ks, where they're at, who has them, because if you leave and forget, it's going to be hard as hell to find it. Okay. But if you want tax benefits and to lower your income, get a traditional. Well, I'm not here to debate of what type of thing that's going to save you on taxes. I'm here to tell people that when you're in debt, you can't do any of that. You can't invest in a 401k, 401k, traditional, IRA, all this other stuff. It doesn't really matter because you have no money. If you're making car payments, don't worry about a traditional 401k after tax, before tax. You have no money to do anything. That only applies to people that have money. My 401k will help me reduce my taxable income by almost 13,000 in the upcoming year. Congratulations, Owen. You should go look on the tax bracket and see how much money you're gonna be saving. Just say, just go over there and say, how much tax money do I want to save? Because I think it's like 21.5 or something. It's some crazy number at 401ks now. It counts on how much tax money you want to save. Only people with no debt can do that. And you get the match, and you get the match. Yep, that's like frosting on top of it, Mo. That's like extra frosting. Now, the match. I want you guys to understand something that you guys don't really get. Debt slaves don't get. When you see jobs, employers doing matches, and they give you this and 4% that, that's because enough of you guys are not investing in retirement, so they gotta act like they're giving you something for free. If it looks like you're getting a 6% or 3% or whatever, when you're in debt, you don't get that. But when you're not in debt, you do get that. Why? Because when you're not in debt, you have money to do that. When you don't have money, you can't, but you think you do. Roll 401k when you leave to another institution, you can roll it. Sure can. You can roll it if you go get another job. Marcy says, also have a beneficiary on your phone. That's most definitely true, for sure. But even with that, if you understand, once, okay, put it this way, when you own yourself, you understand the true purpose of 401ks at jobs. Number one, it's for that, definitely they get tax breaks. What I don't even have to know that. That's definitely a tax break, right? It's not only the main purpose is for you guys to invest in the IRS's thing, whatever it is, but it forces you to participate, but it's for people that don't know and for people that don't. You can be at your job right now. You can ask anybody, hey, what's the maximum contribution that you can give to a 401k in a year? 99% of people won't know because they don't do it. They can't do it. When you ask them, hey, what's the max? They're going to be the first thing they're going to think. What's the maximum match? Oh, I think it's 6%. They're going to be like, it's 3% or something. You're going to be like, no, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how much total can you put in? 21,000? Is it 20,000? They're gonna be like, oh, I don't know, because I never can do that. I know, I know. That's why the HR called me. That's why they called me. That's why they called me and said, hey, did you mean to put 20,000, contribute $20,000 into your 401k? I said, yeah, yes. Oh, okay, sir. All right, we're just double checking. All right. Little did I know, I was part of the 0.5% that contributed a full year to my 401k maximum. You don't believe me? Ask anybody at your job. Hey man, have you ever maxed out your 401k? They're all going to say no. If you see somebody out there making car payments, the answer is no. Listen, if somebody's making car payments, they're not maxing out their 401k. I can promise you that. Those are the same people that are financing Teslas. Those people think they're saving money on gas. They're not saving money on. They're not saving money on nothing. Sure can. There's even higher limits than that. Once you know, all you got to do is go to your tax person. They say, "Hey, man, are there higher limits? Can I go past 20,000?" They'll find it. When you do all your listen, when you understand, all your taxes are straight. Like, say, like if there's ever a discrepancy on my taxes, I can always prove what happened, why this and that. It's always just going to be a mistake. It's not going to be a lie or hiding something or trying to cheat. Because if you cheat on your taxes, you're cheating on yourself. That means you're cheating because you don't understand taxes. Taxes, listen, taxes is a word. You guys understand? Just like pencil, bed, hammer. Those are words. But when you hear the word taxes, you guys get emotional. You got to catch yourself and say, why do I get emotional over this word? Because you don't understand how they work. If you get a letter in a if you get a letter that comes in the mail and it's got IRS on it and you get nervous, that means you don't understand how they work because you get nervous. Why you get nervous? If you complain about any taxes, that pretty much tells me about your psychology of money. Sure do. LJ, I would love to hear your thoughts on how to leverage good credit as an asset if possible. In business, I could. Yeah, business it counts on. You know what? This is how when you're debt free, right? So like this, you're debt free, and then you decide to open a business. You will have a whole different mindset than 99% of other people with businesses. Okay, and the only thing I could see you leveraging credit for would be saving money on taxes. Because when you're in business, trust me, there's specific reasons why you would probably get a loan because you'd probably save more money in taxes by getting a loan. Now, in order for you to understand that, you would have to know that capitalism is psychological. Like, let me give you an example. By knowing capitalism is psychological, I know the banks own 99% of everything you see, business and personal. I understand that. Debt slaves have to ask the bank for everything, permission for bank to buy. Hey, bank, can I buy a house? Hey, bank, can I buy a car? Hey, bank, can I buy a fucking phone? Do you understand me? I understand that now. Okay. That's crystal clear. I get it. If I go into the bank and go get a loan for my business, they already know why I'm there, what I'm doing it for. I'm only here because of tax reasons. That's the only reason why I'm here. Because I'm going to save more money on taxes by getting a loan instead. It's all participation. It doesn't bother me if I had to go get a loan to save money on taxes. That would not bother me at all because it's business. Everybody knows the feds, the local city government, everybody's getting their fair share of taxes. Why am I not? Listen, put it this way, when you own a business, you're basically collecting taxes and you're passing them to the government. Because when you're an employee, they can just take them. They say, hey, business, take all the taxes from the debt slaves and give it to us. But they can't keep track of everybody. They can't go to every business and say, hey, take all the taxes from this. They just say, hey, collect the taxes and give it to us. I'm not paying the taxes. Debt slaves are paying the taxes. Why would I keep like I can create my own product here in the USA, charge whatever I want. And the government says, hey, if you charge 1,000, make sure you charge 1,100 because we want $100 off of that. Give us the 100. Okay, cool, shit. And I get to keep my money. Yeah, you get to keep my money. Yeah, you get to keep your money. You got to pay us a little bit of taxes, but that's that. They pay for that too. Some business owners think they get to keep not only the money they charge, they get to keep the tax money too. That messes up everything. Excuse me. Martin C says, would you recommend a brokerage account over a savings account? I don't. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. This is what I do, Martin. I help people understand if you are in debt, you have no money for a brokerage account or an HYSA account. You have no money in a savings account. You don't have any money in a bank account. You don't even own yourself. Like, for example, let me give you an example, Martin. Say like I wanted information on which account should I get. I would go to a professional that already knows and who is personally debt free. They would know exactly what type of account I would need for the position I am in because the first thing they need to know how much money I have before they can tell me what account I can use. Maybe I have multi-millions of dollars. They're not going to recommend the same account for a person that has a job. My mic, is it low? Is my mic low or something? Oh, I'm sounding too far away. Okay. I don't know why it changed. Let me see something. 1 second. Let me see if the mic got turned down. 1 second here. Let me see. Sound. Do I got control over my mic? I don't know. Volume. Media. Hmm. I don't know. How am I sounding right now? Am I still? Did it sound like the phone was too far away? Okay. I might have been too far away. I might have been. Thank you for. Okay. I might have been getting kind of crazy. Not sure why the mic would go down though. Let me see. Let me make sure I didn't touch something here. Just a second here. Nope, I don't think I did anything. I'll just put it closer. All right, let's see here. How's it sound? Does it sound good? Okay, got it, got it. All right, cool. All right, I've been on here for an hour and 30 minutes anyway. I don't even know how to. Let's see. Can I invite? I'm on my phone, you guys. So no, I don't think I can do that. Private chat, stream info settings. All right, sorry about that. You guys got me messing with buttons on this phone. I came in, left. All right. Any questions before I get out of here? I've been an hour and 30 minutes now. I'm getting tired. If you guys haven't checked out my channel, check out my Six Sense channel. Subscribe if you haven't. It's it's an amazing channel. It's an amazing channel. I'm still blown away by it. I'm still learning. I'm getting so many stories from people. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Now, like I said, I won't be talking about SMD much over there, but they will know it is intertwined. I want to make sure everybody understands that it is intertwined. Any questions of me? Anybody got any more questions? Because I know if you're new, you haven't heard anybody talk like this before. This is for, hey Mo, this is forever. I want everybody to understand this. SMD math never gets old. You guys, that's what I want you guys to understand. Math is timeless. Math is timeless. My content will never be old. You guys know how amazing that is? And then when I go to Sixth Sense, the same thing is going to be there, you guys. Narcissists will always be here. Do you guys understand? They've been here. You know how many people have gotten caught up with narcissists, and then they leave that person thinking it was just that person that was that horrible to them? There's millions of them. Just like debt slaves. Debt slaves are everywhere. You know how many financial channels are on YouTube that are debt slaves giving you guys financial information, telling you how to buy houses with FHA mortgages. If you are a person with a FHA mortgage, they got you. Do you understand that? If you have a FHA mortgage, they got you. Now, it's already bad enough that people with regular mortgages think it takes 30 years to buy a house. If you have an FHA mortgage, they know you're never going to pay off that house. They already know that because you got an FHA mortgage. You're not paying off that house. You think people with subprime mortgages are paying those houses off? No, they're not. The bank knew that the day they signed the paperwork. The bank knew that when you refinance your house twice. They already knew that. You're just one job loss or divorce away, breakup away from losing the house. They already know that. You probably think, well, how does the bank know all this? How do they know which neighborhoods? Because the houses in the neighborhoods are financed, people. They already know who's behind on payments, who's not paying their taxes, who can if they bump it up $50, they already know who's gonna lose their house. The bank controls everything you see, people, everything. Hey, how to get a business loan, how to that's just debt slaves, people, debt slaves. You know how many people, listen, I want you to listen closely. Do you know how many people believe they own equity in a mortgaged house? There's thousands of videos on the YouTube that's telling you how to do it. Something they try to tell you something that's 100% mathematically impossible, and people believe it. That commands respect. That makes me respect the system. Congratulations, banks. Congratulations. You look at all the Federal Reserve buildings, where they at? On prime real estate in every city in America. Those are statements, people. Those buildings are statements. You can't even go in them. You got to respect the system. I do. Billions of people don't know this knowledge with a B. I want you guys to see where I'm going to take 6 cents so you guys can understand the combination of the two. You guys will know just a second. Oh man, what happened? This is actually temporary. Wait and try again. What are they doing? They're messing with my stuff here. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I don't know what's happening. I think something messed up here. All right, you guys have a good night. I'm out of here.